So first,
Absolutely.
and I was like,
let's dig it all up.
oh, no.
True.
You'll never guess.
So, sidebar.
Yes. And also, I feel like I shouldn't have to remember everything.
I know.
Actually, I have to talk about this.
3, 2, 1.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is Also Podcast in the City Edition, Season 1, Episode 9, the season finale. We did it. It's done. And I've never been more sad to end a series we've done. Besides Kid Nation.
I know.
That was sad.
This one has been so good. And if they do not start recording a Season 2 swiftly, I will be so upset.
Gotta start fighting. Okay, before we get into the season finale, because we have a lot to cover, please check us out on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Patreon. All the links are in our description, and please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. Okay, so previously, this season on In the City, Lindsay's a mom, her life is chaos. Danielle is dating Owen, spelled Eon, who is still married and they want to have babies. There is a blog that called Danielle a homewrecker, and Amanda believes that's true. Amanda and Kyle are continuously on the rocks, and Amanda wore the raincoat in the summer and overheated on the subway and blamed Kyle for it. So Amanda moved out for a year without telling Kyle. Whitney moved into Kenny's apartment, but Kenny says there's concerns about there not being a spark, but then Kenny denied saying that. Gavin tried to talk to Kenny about it, but now Kenny blames Gavin because Gavin is unhappy. Nick and Yvonne had their 23rd wedding celebration where everyone argued, and Yvonne blamed Lindsay for it, so they went on a trip to Connecticut, and there was a ton of drama around the rooms, and Lindsay took the primary, and Whitney said that Lindsay played the single mom card to get the primary, and Kyle booked 14 DJ gigs, which made Amanda cry, and Kyle spiral, and Andrea tried to tell Kyle how easy married life is supposed to be. What a time.
Oh my God, that was so much.
Did I miss anything?
And to think the fact that it all started with that damn raincoat was just...
They re-showed that scene, and I was like,
south.
I can't forget about it. I have to mention
No, it lives rent-free here.
Love it. Okay, so we're in Connecticut. Everyone is up the next morning. We all went to bed after the epic fight of Kyle's a DJ, Amanda's upset about it. Lindsay said Kyle cheats, but we don't talk about it. But we don't say that. That was a Beverly Hills thing, if you guys caught that.
Lift that rug up, let's brush it under, and let's get on with the day.
So everyone's up. Andrea, most beautiful man alive, always, even first thing in the morning. So Amanda's like, what I missed last night, because I cried and went to bed. She missed s'mores, and s'mores is Andrea's favorite American delicacy. And Lindsay got shot in the ass at paintball, and she showed everyone. Kyle does wake up, says hello to Amanda. Gavin says he slept great in that big bed, because Amanda and Kyle, if you remember, have the twin bedroom.
I still can't believe that whole rooming situation. Like, it's just a diabolical situation going on between those three.
Mm-hmm. So Danielle and Owen, spelled Eon, volunteered to go food shopping before apple picking, and Kyle, Whitney, and Kenny joined them. Kyle mostly volunteered because he doesn't want to have to cook Friendsgiving. Lindsay,
I agree. Listen, you have to find how to help, and so you can get out of the more strenuous activities. It's kind of like when 100%. You're in class. Raise your hand once, and the teacher will never call on you again.
Yep. So Lindsay calls Gemma, and Gemma's just like the cutest kid I've ever seen.
She is.
She says being a single mom wasn't her first choice, but she tries her best with her village and her nanny, and that's why Whitney's comment about playing the single mom card cut close. And also Whitney did talk about how Lindsay has a nanny, so her life is easier, and she said comparatively to other single moms, and I was like, that's crazy. Because maybe, but also we don't know that. Like, that's just, such a crazy claim. But
there's just a lot. The goalpost constantly is going to move also on this argument from, all sides, too. And, I hated that this was how our finale episode went down.
100%. So we go shopping. Kenny is very pumped. He's been doing Friendsgiving for years. He actually doesn't go home for Thanksgiving, so he always loves hosting a Friendsgiving. He's excited to do it again. His friends are his family. So we're shopping. Danielle's like, can we get the boxed mashed potatoes? And they're like, are you fucking kidding, Danielle?
Absolutely not. Mashed potatoes are not that hard to make, considering we have a lot of people in a big kitchen.
Also, your boyfriend's Irish, and the Irish love potatoes, so...
Okay, but later he does say he doesn't like mashed potatoes, so, like,
Which
he
is
cannot
crazy
be the reason that...
because the Irish love the potato. I'm just kidding. It's the potato famine, if you get it. Okay, so we check in with how Kyle's doing from last night. And just to remind everyone, last night, Owen looked Kyle and Amanda dead in their faces and said, "You're on a one-way ticket to divorce. That's what both of you have."
Oh my God. As if it wasn't obvious over the 10 years that we've seen them on our screen, Owen had to look them in the face and say that, and that rocked them to their core.
Yeah, this guy that just met them was like, divorce. Divorce both of you, absolutely. But Kyle says he's trying to put an effort and it's not working. And then Danielle and Whitney talk. And Danielle tells Whitney that the girls know that Whitney said the single mom card comment. And Danielle's like, I just want to bring it up to you because, like, that sounds like something you would never say, which Danielle shows how much you know Whitney because then Whitney looks at her and goes, I did say that.
Oh, that exchange was insane because Danielle's like, oh my God, you would never. And And Winnie's like, oh, no, I did. I did
Danielle's
do
like,
that thing that you're shocked that I did.
That's a terrible thing to say.
Who would never do that?
I wouldn't even say that. And I don't even like Lindsay. And when he's like, no, I said it with my chest. And Danielle's like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
so
let me back all that up then.
Whitney says they offered the room to Yvonne and Nick, and Lindsay said she was taking the primary because she's a mom. And Whitney says Lindsay thinks no one else has issues, and she would think that if you want to take a step forward with your best friend, you would make an effort. Which, again, this is not how you solve friendships.
But that's not what, like, playing the mom card is. So is it playing the mom card, or is it that she wasn't being a good friend to Yvonne? Mm-hmm. Like, which one is it?
Whitney has a lot of issues, and I don't think she's tracking them appropriately. Because the comment she made, it doesn't align now with what her issue is. And also, she's like made up, and we talked about this, she's made up that she thinks that Lindsay thinks this, and she thinks Lindsay thinks that, and like Lindsay actually doesn't think these things. So Whitney's like making that up. She's coming up with separate problems she has with Lindsay. Meanwhile, all Lindsay said was like, we're moms and we're going to take this room.
Listen, she did use it as a reason to get the room. Like, it is true. But, like, then be mad that she used it to get the room. You can't bring the Yvonne friendship thing into it. Because also, why are you offended on behalf of their friendship? Like, 100%. All this doesn't make sense together. You got to really, like, hone in on why you're upset. It now feels like Whitney wants a reason to be upset with Lindsay and is going to just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks.
And also, I think it's different to say, like, oh, she used being a mom to get the room versus she always plays the single mom card. Because this is like one time she said, I'm a mom, I'm going to get this. Right? And she did play that card, but she's also not sitting there being like, here's my single mom sob story that you like make it seem to be. So whatever. But yeah, so Danielle is like, oof. Those words you said, that's going to be bad because also Georgina feels a way about this. And Whitney's like, yeah, okay, but it's like funny because they both have nannies. So actually like they're not as bad off as other single moms.
She's like digging in harder, and I'm like shocked, but I'm not.
Like, it's so insensitive to all parents, I think, because like, yes, there are some single moms who do struggle. There are some single moms who have it all together. There are some families who have it all together. There are some families that struggle. To put it all like in one big bucket, I think is like so dismissive of like all different family units and the different like statuses we all find ourselves in, and like there's just so many factors. You can't be like, oh, she has a nanny, she's fine. You know what I mean?
But it's like Whitney's playing cards she doesn't even have too. Is like she's mad at Lindsay for playing a card she actually does have, which is a mom and a single mom card. And then Whitney wants to like fight this battle on behalf of moms who don't have nannies or like these. And it's just weird that she's like fighting the good fight while also like shaming moms that have nannies. Like she ends up shaming anybody in this.
That's the other thing is I doubt there are a lot of moms that are pissed Lindsay has a nanny. You know what I mean? Yeah. But Whitney's like taking up fight for all of them. I get it if Lindsay was always like, oh, I'm so tired. Thank God my nanny's doing all the parenting. But she's not. She's just like, I need the extra help. I have a nanny. So, like, there's the fight's not even there. Whitney's fighting for people who don't want to be represented in this fight. Like, what are we doing?
I don't get how nannies are shamed in this when they're used as the primary child care in place of like sending them to daycare. If Lindsay was a stay-at-home mom who was doing nothing and like said she was exhausted and her life was so hard and she did not work and she had a nanny, I get being like, you actually have nothing going on in your life. Like, you aren't tired. But like, this is just care for her child so she can go work.
Yeah, and I thought of this last episode, or maybe like post when we recorded, but like just because families don't have nannies doesn't mean they don't have help, right? Like both my parents worked and my grandparents spent a lot of time taking care of us, which that was essentially our nannies. Like my parents just were lucky enough to get that childcare for free, which again, not everyone has that benefit. So if you look at it, like Lindsay's employing someone, which is also very nice in the economy we're in, Whitney. And then on top of that, Whitney, if you ever want to be a mom, you might need a nanny, and that's okay. And now you're out here shaming people with nannies, and it's just like crazy. It's great. This woman is like not for me. Whitney is not for me.
No, because she doesn't know what her own argument is, but she's standing like 10 toes down on just being mad. And then every time she tries to pivot her argument when somebody talks to her the rest of this episode, she ends up insulting more people as she goes on. And I'm like, girl, just give it up. Give it up.
She also becomes the type of person that like I hate on TV, which is the perpetual victim. The one who's always like, everyone, I'm not doing anything wrong and everyone's attacking me. And now I'm upset and my boyfriend has to come stick up for me. Like, I hate those characters, and she's turning into that.
That is like, she said her comment, she won't stand 10 toes on it and like actually back herself. She ends up retreating
or just
later
apologize.
On. Yeah.
Like, okay, so anyway, so yeah, Danielle's like, this is not good for you. She's panicking on behalf of Whitney. But also, and this is so real, Danielle's like, I'm a little excited that I'm not in the hot seat right now.
100% agree.
Danielle knows this is a game, right? And Lindsay's the type where she's going to want the public's back, or not the public, but like her friends backing. She's going to make it everyone's argument. And Danielle's like, Lindsay's going to need me more than ever. So I'm switching sides.
Well, she can't even, not even that she like wants her friends backing, because remember, Lindsay doesn't need minions.
She doesn't need minions.
Lindsay's energy is funneling fully towards Whitney.
Yeah.
And so she cannot hate Danielle at the same time that she is actively battling Whitney.
Win for Danielle. Coming out on top at the end here, Danielle. So they go apple picking. The ride is 50 minutes. I'm not going apple picking.
Oh my God.
That's not that long.
I'm not Chicago. Going. I have had to go further. I had to give up on going apple picking here in Chicago because I have a friend who would make us go like an hour and a half out of Chicago there and then an hour and a half back. And we would leave at like 3 p.m. and the place would close at like 6. Like, you don't get enough time there. It was so not worth it. I hate that. And it makes sense. Like, apple picking, pumpkin picking, they're on farms, so they're far away.
I get it. But, like, when you go, this scenario specifically is, like, we're filming a TV show. I'm with a bunch of people that, like, aren't actually my friends or family. Like, if my parents were like, let's go apple picking, yeah, I'm going to fall asleep in the backseat. I don't actually have to perform. That's fine. 50 minutes on my phone. I got to sit next to Kenny for 50 minutes? I don't think so. No
and
way.
Everything I say is being filmed and can be used against me.
My gosh, I can't even pass gas without someone getting mad at me in this car. Like, my gosh, everything's gone. I can't. This is my nightmare. And Amanda's right. So Amanda, Yvonne, Nick, and Gavin take a car. And Amanda's like, if this is close to New York, tell Kyle to pack my bags. I'm going back to the city. And I'm like, yeah. At this point,
agree.
At this point, you don't even want to be here with him. So last night, Amanda talks about how she had her full panic attack during dinner. She says it's her body telling her to get out, but Amanda's best at compartmentalizing, so she's just going to pretend like nothing happened. Which I find whatever keeps your peace.
This is her one skill she has and handles every situation like this. She's like, 100%. I am an expert at fighting and waking up the next morning and pretending everything is cool.
She is. She's very good at it. I could never.
She is. It's scary good at it.
No, I could never.
This is how my family is a lot, is like, you do not pretend that fight we just had, especially if you have something the next day. We got to keep it moving. Like, we've got so much on the list. We've got so many things to do. Keep it rolling. Like, my family will get into a fight about getting into a fight, but like, she's way better at this than I could ever be. But still, we do this all the time.
We move on, but I'll never forget. I'm sitting there seething.
I have an attitude.
Yeah. She doesn't. She's very good at being like, and now Kyle and I are in love. And I'm like,
which, like,
insane.
It's also hard for the other person. Like, my family still knows I'm pissed. But Kyle, I feel like, then thinks like, oh, we're good.
Mm-hmm. Kyle's like, she forgave me and I can do my DJ set. And Amanda's sitting there and she's like,
too good at it.
She's like, wait till the compartment reopens, then I'm going to murder you.
Just wait for 6 months. Yeah. I will bring this up and you won't. You'll be completely blindsided that I actually did not ever move on.
The cheating compartment, it just reopened. That's why it keeps coming out.
Unlocked,
it was closed for 10
years. Wide open.
Yeah. Okay, card 2 is Lindsay, Georgina, Lexi, and Andrea. Georgina over Whitney. She is me. We are together. Lexi says she's shocked Whitney made the single mom comment. And Lindsay's like, what the fuck is Whitney's beef with me? And also, Lindsay's like, I've never bitched to Whitney ever about anything. Yeah. And that includes being a single mom.
Played, it's like that. You're not the person I'm playing them to.
You made them up. Okay, we're playing blackjack and you brought go fish. Like, what are we doing?
You're assuming that I'm playing this card because I'm a single mom. Like, Whitney definitely is building this narrative of things that are happening in her own brain that are not happening in reality.
No, she's fighting a fight for people that don't want to fight. It's like, what's happening?
Against people who are not fighting against her.
No. And Lindsay's also like, what the fuck? So I have a nanny and I need a nanny so I can work. She's like, sounds like Whitney doesn't get it because she doesn't fucking work. And Georgina's like, it's shameful that Whitney's saying that about women. And I was like, yeah, girl.
I was like, oh my God, Whitney has no clue what she is up against with these two. What is coming towards her at this apple picking adventure.
After this car ride, out loud, I just went, get her. Get her. Get her. She's dead. I'm mourning. I don't even need to mourn Whitney. I know she's gone. You know?
Yeah.
Like, we're fine.
Mm-hmm.
So then car 3 are the people who went shopping. We have Danielle, Owen, Whitney, Kyle, and Kenny. Whitney tells them, she's like, hey guys, so it got out that I made this comment about Lindsay being a single mom and now it's gotten back to her. And Kenny's like, okay, it has nothing to do with being single moms because we like love single moms. And Whitney's like, yeah, sure. I also said she has a nanny, so she's not even like, really struggling. And she's like, and Lindsay has tons of time to do stuff. And I'm like, why is that now the issue?
I was like, whoa. The way you guys are like, it's not about being a single mom. You literally said it's a single mom card that she's playing. So how can it not be about the topic that you said it was about? You're the one who started the beef about this and decided to say what the beef was about. And then you're like completely changing it. And then also you're doubling down on the nanny comment now. And I'm like, stick with one of them. You can have both, to be honest, but like stick with what the issue is, because now we have 3 issues. It's either the single mom card, it's that Lindsay's being a bad friend to Yvonne, or it's that she has a nanny and she has all this free time. Like, what is the problem?
All of which Whitney just like conjured up because she hates Lindsay.
That's the real problem that we're masking.
So Lindsay thinks she's more important, which again, Lindsay's actually not thinking about how more important she is than you. Let that be known.
No.
She actually doesn't care.
Doesn't register to her mind. I do think that she thinks she's more important to this show, but like that is a fact. Yeah, like there are things that Lindsay does think she's more important, but as like a person in their time within a day, she does not think about you because she's busy living her life.
Let me tell you, Whitney, in case you still didn't get it, Lindsay thinks that her being a mom and her daughter Gemma is definitely more important than whatever the fuck you think of her. Okay?
Yeah.
Her spending time with Gemma is more important than her caring about you. For sure, that's her daughter. That's how it should be. So why are you bitter? What are we like? What are we mad? It's like Whitney's never met a mom.
That's it. It's that Gemma gets all of Lindsay's attention and Whitney gets none because she's a new girl in New York City.
Guess what? Lindsay's most important thing is her daughter and being a mom. That is all more important than whatever the fuck
Let's
you
shame
have
her
going
for that.
on.
She loves her kid.
Great. So Whitney says Lindsay's friends are scared of her, and so is Whitney. And I was like, girl, you don't even know. You don't even scared of her. You've seen the nicest. You should have seen Lindsay before she had Gemma. That was scary, and I wasn't even there.
Yes. But also, I don't think I would ever say that her friends are scared of just who she is. I think they're scared when they piss her off.
Yeah, because she's going to not back down.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And let me tell you, Whitney, we've seen a lot of people try and go toe to toe with Lindsay. You're not going to be a successful one. I already know.
No. And not even just because you're
one opponent. Yeah, there's only been one formidable opponent, and that was Paige Sorbo. And even she kind of got a little shaken up a few times.
Correct. Like, she learned how to battle with her. Whitney, you have none of the skills that you would ever need to go toe to toe with Lindsay and, like, remotely perform.
Remotely, girl. Remotely. So back to Lindsay's car. Lindsay's like, if Whitney thinks I'm intimidating now, she hasn't met me today. And I was like, get her.
These two convos next to each other are so funny because it's like, Whitney's like, people are scared of her. Whitney, you are scared of her. And Lindsay's like, you should be fucking more scared of me if you were scared of me before.
Guess who's dying tonight? Who's on the menu, Meredith? Ooh. Who's dying tonight?
It's like, we don't need turkey. Return the turkey to the grocery store. Whitney's up on the menu now.
We got meat. Lindsay's about to flame her up. Ooh. So we go apple picking. We meet Jeff, the apple picker of Rogers Orchards. That's not true. He owns it, but he picks the apples, I'm sure. Jeff is like, hey, welcome. I have alcohol for you. And Lindsay's like, can we drink while picking apples? And he's like, you wouldn't have enough hands because you got to pick apples and do the bag. And Lindsay's like, well, us moms definitely have more than two hands. Us very busy moms. And I was like, hey, Whitney, you're going to die tonight. If you didn't already, you're dying tonight.
You were scared in that car? Lindsay's letting it be known that she's like, I'm a mom. I don't know if anybody knows it here, but I can multitask. I'm a busy girl. I'm more important. Let's make sure everybody knows that.
The Grim Reaper has posted right behind Whitney at this point.
Yep. Yeah, single Lindsay mom has entered the chat.
Yeah, Lindsay marked her. Death's right there. So we get alcohol to start out with, and then we go apple picking. Amanda's doing the picking. Kyle's holding the bag. She picks a whole branch, and Kyle's like, the fuck are you doing? And she goes, it's aesthetic. And I went, no, it's not.
No. There is one goal here, branch? And it's just to have the apple in the bag.
It's aesthetic. What are you doing with that branch? Bringing it home to decorate your unfurnished apartment? What are we doing?
Maybe. Who am I to judge?
So they're like, we should do a contest. Biggest apple doesn't have to do the dishes tonight. And so all the boys are running around to find this biggest apple. Lindsay finds a pretty big apple. Kyle's like, Amanda, we gotta find a big apple. And she's like, I'm not trying to win, Kyle. And he's like, fuck, just trying to win.
This is like another moment where I'm like, you guys don't mix. Like, Kyle wants to participate and have fun, and Amanda wants to do anything of nothing of the sorts.
She's chopping down the trees because it's aesthetic.
She wants to take a tree home. She's like, biggest tree aesthetic. Fills the apartment, I win. Yeah.
Owen is just on the other side peeking through the branches going, divorce. You will divorce. Okay, so then we're done. We go sit by this fire, but it's fucking cold out here, which, yes, apple picking during the fall is not for the weak. Okay, this is a thing. And it looks like it's getting dark already, so we're fucking cold. Lindsay's like, I'm going to the car. I'm fucking freezing. And Kyle's like, it's not even that cold. And she's like, you grew up in New Hampshire. I'm from Florida. Going to the car.
That is so true. Yeah. There is something about having it built into your cells at a molecular level of dealing with cold.
Let me tell you, Meredith. Out here, East Coast, the winters aren't that bad, okay? From Chicago, I live in Brooklyn, in case people didn't know. The amount of people who are like astounded by me not wearing a parka, and I'm like, sometimes you're born with it. Sometimes you can just handle it. And if
I
you're
always tell
not
people,
born
I'm
with
like,
it,
in December, in December, if you're wearing your long coat, I'm concerned for what's about to come.
yeah.
January, February, March, because like
Mm-hmm.
you're getting too comfortable in that big coat that you're not going to know
Yeah.
how to deal with those like negative temperatures, the wind chill being -20 in a foot of snow.
Some people got it, some don't. And Lindsay did spend most of
Does
her life in
not
Florida.
have it.
She doesn't have it. And the
Yeah.
New York winters, they just don't compare because once you leave this city, it gets hot in the city. But once you leave, it's fucking freezing. Because they went north. Like Buffalo,
Yeah,
New York,
true.
that's some shit I don't even think you and I could handle. Some other shit.
No. No, that's
Okay.
too much snow. Thankfully, we don't get snow here
No,
as much
jeez.
in Chicago.
So when Lindsay's gone, Amanda's like, oh, Georgina, is Lindsay okay? And Georgina's like, no, I don't think she is because of Whitney's comment. And Whitney's like, yeah, I'll address it with her, but it has nothing to do with her being a single mom and everything to do with her being demeaning of her relationship with Yvonne. And I guess I just have different standards for my friends, and it would have been nice to let Yvonne get the first pick of the rooms. If I'm Yvonne, I'm immediately offended. Don't drag me into this. Why are you mad on my behalf?
But Yvonne actually is the opposite in this conversation. She's like, she tries to chime in later, and I'm like, no. Like, don't do this. But I do appreciate Georgina being upfront. Like, she's pissed. Like, I'm gonna let you know. And also, like, you said some fucked up things.
Mm-hmm. Well, Whitney says Lindsay has always had the excuse, and everyone bows down to Lindsay, and she's sick of it. And everyone's just
Always
silent.
is an extreme comment.
Let me tell you, Whitney, okay? No one's gonna bow down to you, and it sounds like you're just jealous. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like you're jealous you're not the number one girl in the group. But here's the thing. When you want to be the number one girl in the group, you're not the number one girl in the group, okay? Lindsay earned her spot as number one girl in the group. And also, Whitney, I don't know if you knew this, but you just moved here. These people have been friends with Lindsay for like upwards of 15 years at this point. Okay, Kyle and Amanda have lived with her for 10 summers straight. Okay, they even bunked up in COVID together. Georgina and her do mommy daycare dates. Gavin and her seem like good friends. Who the fuck are you to all of a sudden come in and be like, everyone's friendships are fucked up and I need to say something?
Yeah. Both, like, to attack people for it and then, like, to defend Yvonne and Lindsay's long-standing relationship. Like, why are you the white knight in this friendship?
Who are you? And
no, truly, who are you?
Who are you? So Georgina goes off. She says, where does Whitney get off saying that? Because Lindsay doesn't go around demanding for things being a single mom. And Kenny's like, yes, she does. And Georgina's like, no, she doesn't. And Kenny's like, she pulled the mom card. And everyone's kind of like, hey, maybe we don't say that. Maybe we just not do that, Kenny.
Here's the thing. She did say it in her argument of getting the room. And I said this last episode, is that I wish she would have explained more of why her and Georgina deserved the room. Because it was more than just them being moms. On the other side, Kenny and Whitney keep changing their own issues with Lindsay. Mm-hmm. So you can't say she always plays this card. It's not about her being a mom. It's not about her being a single mom. It's about her being a nan, or like having a nanny and saying she's tired. It's about Yvonne and Lindsay's friendship and not being a good friendship. And I hold like my friendships to a higher standard because you're constantly moving the net of like the goalpost of what the issue is for Lindsay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Whitney says she has respect for Lindsay as a mom. And Georgina's like, well, you also made the comment about the nanny. So I don't know. And Whitney's like, who cares? And Georgina goes, I care. And Lindsay cares. And mothers care.
That was crazy. That was so crazy because you are the one who made this a big deal. You have been talking about this nonstop. And then you're going to go, who cares? Because they're reacting to you. Now it's who cares.
I love the response when someone goes, because I say who cares all the time. I would be gobsmacked if someone just looked at me and goes, I care. I'd be like, oh, well, not. I don't know. You know?
Also, why is it a bad thing to care about things? My dad always does this like to gaslight himself, and I'm always like, why is it a bad thing to care? You made a comment, so I care about it. Of course I care. Like, what's the issue with caring?
And Georgina says she hopes one day if Whitney wants to have kids, she has kids and she understands. And Danielle, cut to Danielle really quick. Never been happier to not be public enemy number one. Danielle's like, this is the best day of my life. So then Georgina says, to say Lindsay pulls the single mom card is so disgusting to moms and women everywhere. And that's how it came across. And when he says, she's sorry Georgina's upset, but she's trying to explain that that's not what it meant. And Georgina's not listening. And Kyle tries to say something because Kyle loves to try and keep the peace.
Loves to jump in.
Amanda tells him to shut the fuck up, so he's not allowed to speak. And Georgina also brings up that in the car, Amanda said that it would be nice for the moms to get the primary room. And Georgina thought that was nice. So sure, it is nice that Kenny and Whitney came up with this idea. It's nice that Amanda came up with this idea. No one's really in the wrong for taking each one separately. And Whitney's like, the point is that Lindsay should have been a better friend to Yvonne. And Kenny's like, yeah, Lindsay chose violence. No, what is the point? Because
the way they constantly move multiple different issues. Whenever they're getting called out for one, they move it to the other. They constantly are moving it. So then like Georgina or Lindsay couldn't be mad at them because they're like, no, it's not about the single mom. It's about you being a better friend. And then once they like address that, like, okay, other people wanted us to have the rooms because we're moms. It's like, well, you always play the card. So which is it?
No, literally.
What is it?
So Georgina's done. She's like, I'm going to leave because you don't understand my point. And like, I don't understand why you're inserting yourself into people's business. And when he's like, well, everyone inserts themselves into my business. And Georgina goes, you're right. And we stopped when you asked us to stop.
I was gagged. That was incredible.
Georgina's insane, dude. I'm scared of her, too.
She is so good.
That's great.
She is so good in this argument.
That was great.
She's the one who started it. Like, she's the one who, like, started the conversation. And she has had the upper hand in it every single time. I'm, like, so impressed. She's better than Lindsay, I'm going to be honest. Because Georgina, like, isn't getting a little bit emotional in this. Like, she is so on point the entire time.
She's not activated in the same way Lindsay gets, like, activated. Georgina's just pissed.
Yeah.
So Georgina's leaving. And Andrea and Lexi are like, oop. That's our car. We gotta go. And on the way out, Georgina does a drive-by, and she's like, it seems that Kenny and Whitney, you guys hate women as a couple.
Oh my God.
Drive-by. Whoa. Whitney's dead. That was the killing shot. And she took Kenny out with it. Whoa.
It's tough. It's tough to recover from you hate single moms. But now to be hate all women? Oh my God. Oh my God. I
That's on
don't
camera.
ever do this to me.
That's on camera. Whoa. And Winnie starts crying and she's like, this is so dumb. I was like, shit. So they go back to the car. Lindsay's on the phone with Frank, which I was like, what's the milkman
Not
doing
what I
here?
expected. Not what I expected us to walk up to is her on the FaceTime with Frank.
They're making plans for a date. And then they get in. And then Nick is like, Nick back at the fire. Hey, can we leave? I forgot he was even here because he wasn't at dinner last night, as far as I'm concerned. And Kyle's like, before we leave, can I pee outside? So he does that.
Oh my God. There are so many random things where I'm like, oh, and that is just Kyle Cook's core. Like, peeing outside, chiming into conversations. Later we get him DJing. Like, Kyle Cook core through and through this finale.
Kyle, sometimes it's nice to know some things never change. And Kyle is one of those things.
So true. Fall Kyle isn't too different from summer Kyle.
And I appreciate that. Okay, so in Lindsay, Georgina, Andrea, and Lexi's car, Georgina doesn't understand why Whitney couldn't have just said, you're right, I shouldn't have said the mom thing. And Andrea agrees. He's like, yeah. Andrea's just, I feel like
true.
Andrea will hype up, though, whoever is kind of in the area. He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't say that. And then in Whitney's car, she's crying, and she's like, no one ever stands up to Lindsay. And Kenny's like, yeah, I'll stick up for you, though. And I know what you meant, and I know you meant well, and Lindsay has issues with you. Which I was like, Lindsay doesn't think of Whitney.
No, and you know what she meant. You guys both keep changing what the issue is, so you don't know what she means.
Sounds like the two of you were plotting to try and take Lindsay down. Oh. And it didn't really
work. And now you're mad. You're doubly mad because you wanted to be mad at Lindsay just to be mad at Lindsay. And then Georgina came in and roasted you alive. And so now you're mad because you were caught with your hand in the cookie jar of trying to shame Lindsay for no fucking reason.
Danielle, though, best day ever. She's like, I can't wait for Friendsgiving.
Living life.
It's going to be great. Owen doesn't know which way's up. He's just here for vibes. And whenever people start arguing, he zones out. He just says divorce at this point. It's Georgina versus Whitney, and he's like, divorce. They should get a divorce. Okay, back at the house. Wine immediately. Whitney goes upstairs. She's like, I need a second. Everyone starts getting the Friendsgiving food ready. We're getting the table set. Apparently, Andrea's very good at setting a table. And then we see
it. Get that man on below deck. Like, as a chief stew.
Below deck, he would throw. No, he just needs to be the chief never does tablescapes. It's always like one of the bitches. True. Yeah. True. So, but he would be great if he just came and did the tablescape and then like left. They go to Italy in the Med sometimes, so he could just pop in. Anyway.
Very true.
Lexi, Amanda, Georgina, and Lindsay, they're all cooking. Amanda's like, so Whitney is really upset about the comment about them hating women. And then at that moment, Kenny and Whitney come into the kitchen and Amanda's like, I need to go kill myself somewhere else. And she runs away. And Lindsay looks at Whitney and she's like, do you want to clear it up for me, Whitney, since you have a lot to say about me as a mom? And I was like, whoa.
Obsessed.
Guess who's going to die? Guess who's going to die again? And Whitney says, it has nothing with you both being single moms. And Lindsay's like, so why did you say I played the single mom card? And they like can't agree what is a single mom card and what was played and what wasn't and what was said. And Lindsay's basically
this
like
super messy because it's like back and forth of like, I didn't say that you played it, but like, let's be honest, you did. And then Lindsay's like, okay, I did play a single mom card. And I'm like, all right, I want. We need to scrap the like trying to zing someone with like, you did play a card. You did say I played a card.
Gotcha.
Lindsay has a single mom card to play.
Yeah.
Whitney did complain about her potentially playing always playing that card. Like that just needs to be agreed upon by the entire group because the rest of this was just dumb.
Yeah. So they go back and forth on what a card is and what isn't. But then Lexi, prove that you're not totally boring to me. She goes, well, Whitney, what about that nanny comment you made? And I was like, yeah. Ooh. Yeah, it's coming from all angles.
Rightful so to call him out because they've changed it a million times. Let's actually talk about everything you've said. It's not just one issue. You have now brought it to 3 issues. Let's unravel it all, babe. What about the nanny thing?
Guess who was at Lexi's wedding? Lindsay, not Whitney. So Lexi's got these prior relationships. And Whitney gets really upset. And she's like, I said that because Lindsay did say she had a nanny. And now I'm pissed at you, Lexi, because I thought I could open up to you. And Lexi is deadpan.
Open up
she's
to
like,
you?
whatever.
About what, though? Open up to you about
my
Lindsay?
friend?
Yeah, that's not opening up. You thought you could shit talk Lindsay to Lexi. To me. That's what you thought.
Yeah,
and it would stay between you two. But she was honest about what you said and airing it out. You thought you had Lexi's loyalty more than her loyalty to Lindsay. But you didn't realize the situation and you're mad at yourself.
You didn't realize who has control over this show, babes. And we all know that's Lindsay Hubbard. So guess who Lexi's siding with?
Love when that shit happens where you're like, why would you go tell one of my closest friends something about me? Of course it's going to get back to me. I am the 100%. Center of the gossip train, babe. It's all coming back to me.
Guess who told her to start out with? It was me. 5 seconds after you told me.
That's so true. That's so true.
And Lindsay's like, I never said anything about having a nanny. Why would you bring up a nanny? And when he's like, this whole thing doesn't have anything to do with you having a nanny. And I'm like, then why'd you say it, girl? Welcome to Bravo, bitch.
Because you're not walking it back. You said it wasn't about being a single mom. It started with a single mom card. You then moved to nanny, and now it's nothing to do with a nanny. So what's the problem here?
Yeah. Girl, you are so out of your league. What are we doing here? And then Gavin says to Lindsay, he's like, hey, you didn't do anything wrong. And then... It's hilarious because Kenny's like, oh, nice, Gavin. And Lindsay's like, I'm going. I'm done. I'm going to get dressed. But Lindsay's like, basically, my main issue is that there's a lot of judgment coming from you, Whitney. And Kenny says, Whitney made the comment because she was surprised that Lindsay wasn't prioritizing her friendship with Yvonne. And I was like, what the fuck?
Okay, now we're back. Now we're back to Lindsay's a bad friend. Like,
Hello?
okay, is that the one we're gonna stick with? Because either air it all out or stop jumping the topic every time you get caught for a bad argument.
And Kenny's like, it would have been a really nice gesture to offer it. And Georgina's like, yeah, but it was also a really nice gesture for, like, Amanda to offer it to us. And also, Kenny, you can't just assume everyone's going to be okay with your idea that affects everyone. And I know it's not a big deal, but this is something that, like, I don't know, you should maybe talk to the group before instead of being like, hey, I'm going to drop a bomb and you're going to look shitty if you don't go with it. But guess what?
Minimum,
Lindsay doesn't care.
Your co-host, though. Like, okay,
At
fine.
minimum.
Who cares what Amanda thinks about the rooming situation? Lindsay is your co-host. So if you wanted to make a grand gesture and you wanted Lindsay to also be making a grand gesture, then you would be making it together. You wanted Lindsay to follow your grand gesture.
Yeah. And I don't know what friendships you have, but I'm going to say it again. No matter how mad I am at a friend, them giving me a bigger bed is not going to fix our fucking issues.
No.
I don't need a big bed. Don't buy my love. Anyway. So
and also me not giving them a bedroom doesn't make me a bad friend.
This is crazy. This is crazy. So cut to Amanda and Danielle together, hanging out, doing a puzzle, drinking wine with Owen.
This is so funny.
They're so happy. They're like, if Katie DeLuca could see us now, too bad she's too boring to be here.
No, wait, actually I have been thinking about that. Like, I know Katie DeLuca's the friend of, but why wouldn't she be invited on this trip?
Because she's that fucking boring.
No, 100% agree. But this would be Katie DeLuca's one moment to shine.
If Katie DeLuca, I think Katie likes that they don't like each other. I think Katie DeLuca enjoys that. I think this wouldn't have happened if Katie DeLuca was present. That's my new theory, because I hate Katie DeLuca, mostly because I don't know anything about her and she seems stupid. That's my reason for hating her.
Her name has been aired more than her face, and so
in support of Amanda too, which I'm not pro that. So I'm anti-Amanda. Anyway, so back to the drama. Lindsay's like, okay, when we were originally picking rooms, FYI to everyone, I wasn't really thinking of Yvonne, which is so fair, because why would I think of Yvonne? I'm not rooming with her. Why the fuck would I think about her?
It's not my responsibility to make sure Yvonne has a good room.
And so that gets, squashed, I guess, because then Kenny's like, hey, Georgina, do you genuinely think we hate women? And Georgina's like, well, I was thinking it because of how this all came across and how demeaning you were.
In the moment.
Whoa, Georgina's insane. I love her. She's like...
But I like how blunt she is. Like, she is like, I'm not gonna, like, coddle you to be like, no, you love women. I thought in the moment, I said it out loud, and I'm standing 10 toes down on my comment in the moment.
Seems like it. Are you gonna change your comments about single moms or what? And Whitney says she's sorry if that's how it came across, because that's not how she meant it. And Gavin's like, then that's it. Great, we're good. Kenny said pick a room, everyone picked a room, and now we're done. And then Whitney's like, Gavin, shut the fuck up. I'm sick of you. And I was like,
whoa, I know Gavin says a lot of comments and always has something to say, but like this wasn't a triggering comment.
When you have a big argument, it's either Kyle or now Gavin who just has to be like, great, we've all moved on. 10 out of 10. Someone's got to do it or we all just sit in the tension, And so Whitney, she's not very happy about it. And Kenny's like, yeah, Gavin, stop talking shit. And Kyle's like...
he talks a lot of shit, but he's not.
In this moment. And Kyle's just like, Gavin, back up. Just shut up, dude. And Kenny tells Whitney to not let Gavin antagonize her. And Gavin's like, what the fuck? If anything, Whitney's antagonizing me by telling me to shut the fuck up. And Lindsay tells them Lindsay's like, actually, the problem started with me. And I was physically ill today hearing Whitney's comments about single moms.
I was like, oh God. We're getting back into it.
Lindsay hasn't gotten her apology yet. So Whitney finally says she's sorry and she didn't mean that. And Lindsay's like, I hear you and I appreciate that. And Kenny's like, I'm sorry for nothing. And I was like, of course you are, you fucking freak. Okay.
Of course not.
So we're back to cooking. Kyle and Kenny make a song about gourds, which is going to be Kyle's #1 hit coming up.
Notice how the single moms are doing all the cooking and everybody, especially the men, are standing around.
Rapping about gourds.
We're going to single mom card anytime we want because look who's doing it, who's getting shit done.
Yeah. So Gavin's like, hey, Kenny, can we talk? Because what the fuck? And so they go out and okay, can I say, before we get into this, Kenny, I don't think is like knows how to be a real friend. I think he just knows loyalty, which those are two different things. Because the first thing he says is he's like, why are you always publicly against me? And I was like, that is crazy to say to someone who's your friend. Why are you publicly against me? So privately it doesn't matter?
I think any comment Gavin says, if it's not like bootlicking support for Kenny and Whitney, Kenny has a problem with it.
No, agreed. He wants like blind loyalty.
Yeah, because like Gavin was saying a lot of like neutral comments in that kitchen. Outside of the like, hey, you did nothing wrong to Lindsay, he was just like chirping to chirp, like to be in the conversation because Gavin can't ever not talk. 100%. And I was like, he's literally not saying anything for or against. He's just like making statements.
And then I got really confused because Kenny's like, Gavin, you're always publicly against me. You said that I hate dogs, which isn't like, true. What? Which Gavin said, because we get the receipts. Gavin said that Kenny, which, okay, wait, again, it's insane that Kenny's really upset with Gavin about all the things that were said on camera about him, which makes me also think that Kenny wants his, image. Look on camera, his image to be a very specific way, which isn't real. So he's like, so what Gavin actually said was Kenny wasn't a pet person, which is fine because, correct me if I'm wrong, Meredith, we're not pet people.
No, why is this some massive attack? It's followed up with like, oh, and Whitney brought a dog, so it's like making him look like a bad boyfriend. But I'm like, okay, if I fell in love with someone and they had an animal and brought it into my home, I would fully expect you to be like, you don't even like dogs, and I'd be like, no, and that's how much I love him. Like to be honest, I feel like Kenny could have used that to bolster his love for Whitney. By being like, no, I love her so much, I will have a dog in my home.
That would have made me like him more because I would have been like, twins? We both aren't pet people? Because I've always said, I was like, I would never get a pet unless I was actually really dating someone I loved that like really wanted a pet. Then I'll do it out of love.
Yeah.
But like, what the fuck? And then Kenny says that Gavin called Kenny a fuckboy, which again, Gavin said that Kenny was a playboy with him, which again is fine. It was more of like you were dating Whitney at that time, or like you broke up with her to be a fuckboy.
Yeah, like that was just an honest take on the situation with some shade for sure. But like he wasn't saying like you were cheating on Whitney. It's like you were going through a lot. You were unwilling to commit to Whitney. And
that's fine.
She was on another coast. I actually fully expect him to sleep around when you're not dating someone and you live on different coasts.
And you're going through a hard time and you don't know how to process your emotions. Yep. Hooking up sounds right. And then Kenny says that Gavin talks shit about his relationship and himself, which... No, Gavin was just trying to understand the dynamics of the relationship based off a comment you said. Yes. This is nuts. Kenny's like also rewriting history, the narcissism on this man.
Notice how all of these comments are to Kenny's face. Kenny doesn't like stick up or battle him in that moment. It's like, I would be pissed, Alicia, if you said all of this stuff behind my back instead of saying 100%. It to my face. That would be a normal thing to get upset about. It's like, you're tarnishing my name when I'm not around and you're supposed to be my friend. And that's where loyalty is supposed to be. But me making chirps at you, and you don't say either like, oh, that's false, if it actually categorically is false, or like, stop. You're like, I'm kind of over you like picking on me.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me to like hold on to it for months and then have a list and be like, I can't believe you've been doing this to me for months.
And it's all on camera. Because that's another thing. If we were just like out, there was no camera, and I was like, Meredith hates pets, like to your face, okay. But if it's like on camera and that's why you get mad, because I'm sure that's not the first time they've discussed Kenny not liking pets.
Yeah.
But now when it's on
now
camera,
there's a switch up. Now there's a problem.
Yeah,
That is
we
how
don't
they
want
navigate.
hate. Yeah, we just want the public image, which
where one person is being authentic and the like dynamic is staying the same whether they're on camera or not, which kind of seems like Gavin is, because Gavin is being a good and bad person on camera. Yeah, like he is Gavin through and through. Kenny is doing the change up, so it's like, I don't know who you want me to be now.
Again, Kenny and Whitney just have no like reality TV knowledge, in the sense of like, Whitney thinks it's like we all have to be friends or we all have to be enemies, and like we have to be beloved, because then like that's where the support comes. And Kenny's like, I need to cater my image perfectly. Whereas like, we all love Kyle. Love or hate Kyle, you have a little love for him. And he's a nightmare most of the time on screen. Lindsay has had so many bad moments, and I would die for her. Even Danielle gets public hate, but I would go as far to say, like, she's very authentic in who she is. Like, Danielle has never on our screen tried to be someone she's not.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's what Bravo is. You're authentic, and we have, you know, our opinions about it, and then we all move on. But you trying to curate this perfect image is like so annoying, because those people never do well on our screens, and we hate them.
It's like the reason people like characters on their screen is because they connect with the highs and lows of their life. Like I think about KJ, and we had, you know, I'd spoken to him before the season aired, and he had said like, I'm scared people aren't going to like the vulnerability I have. And it's like, that is scary to put it out there. And the thing you dream of is that people connect with it and it'll resonate with them, and you'll be able to bond with people over it. But that's the scary part of putting it out there. But the minute you try to like portray this perfect image, it's immediately seen as fake. And like, you're not giving me anything to connect with. Because what am I supposed to connect with you on this trip, that like you think somebody's a bad friend because they didn't give up a bedroom? Like, I can't bond over you with that.
100%. And I think Kenny has been very vulnerable in the search for his father, but like, a person is not all like perfection, right? You can't have like this amazing storyline and then like you welcome a girlfriend and like everyone's mean to you. That's not reality. The reality is like, you also make mistakes, and like, you aren't gonna be everyone's cup of tea, and people aren't gonna connect with you on things, and like, you just have to be authentic.
But I would say like his storyline with his dad was like a perfect road. Like,
it was kind of perfect.
Any issues?
He didn't hold any resentment. His dad was loving and came and
was so excited. Like, there weren't any negative emotions.
There was no negativity, which like, again, this isn't that negative, dude. Kenny and I could have bonded over not being pet people. That could have been my bond, but he has to like fight that because he doesn't want that, because then the dog lovers aren't going to love him, you know? And like, it's not that big a fucking deal, dude. Anyway, Kenny just wants to know if Gavin was malicious towards him. And Gavin's like, I literally can't believe you would think this. Like, this is so out of context.
Those weren't... Georgina saying you hate women was more of an attack on who you are than anything 100%. Gavin has ever said about you guys this entire season.
Yeah, but Gavin, I don't know, Gavin seems like a really good person. For as many issues as I've had with him, like stirring the pot, he can acknowledge that, like, hearing all this from Kenny, it does sound bad.
Watching Gavin, I was so impressed at how he handled this situation.
Because I think I would have fought back.
No, same.
I'm like that.
Like, Gavin is upset. He's like, it was all like jokes to me, and like, I didn't mean to resonate with that. Like, we make fun of our friends. That's like who we are. Like, we love through mean humor, and like, not everybody can take that, and that's fine. And Gavin really takes this as like, I'm really sorry. That's not what I meant for it to be. Like, I'm hearing you, and like, Gavin started tearing up and like saying like he is gonna change it, and he feels really bad, and it like hurts him to know that his friend is hurting based on his comments.
And you know what Kenny does that bugs me again? He went into this ready for a fight, and Gavin does not give him a fight. He immediately apologizes. So Kenny reiterates how much he's mad at Gavin, and Gavin's like, no, I get it. And he's like crying, right? And he's like, yeah, well, you got to be my friend moving forward. And Gavin's like, no, I love you. And Kenny's like, good, because what you did really sucked. And I was like, dude, just hug this man.
He literally is crying. Like, he's wiping away multiple tears, and not in that fake reality TV star where you're trying to, like, force tears so you, like, put your hands in front of your eyes. Like, tears are in his little, like, crevice, like, everywhere.
Yeah. Like, he is really sad that his friend was hurt by him.
Yeah.
And Gavin, like, or Kenny just, like, it was like, okay, great.
Kenny can't be vulnerable back and be like, your friendship matters to me, and it like hurts that, because I can understand like still expressing the anger and hurt that you have for Gavin, but he just is only expressing anger. It's not like he's like being emotional with him. He's just like, I want to make sure you know that like you're in the wrong, instead of being like,
be on my side. Yeah.
That instead of saying like, like it just hurts me that like I wouldn't have my friend potentially, like if you turn against me or not my friend, like that we would ever lose our like 15 years of friendship. It means a lot to me, and your opinion of me means a lot to me, and like to think that you don't think highly of me and my girlfriend, or think we're gonna make it, would hurt, like because I like respect you and what you say about me so much. Like it doesn't even come from that.
It's also like, I think it's nice doing this podcast because I'm able to put like us in the situation a lot of times.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I feel like even if I was very hurt by you and I expressed that and you immediately were like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'd be like, thank you. Like, yes, let us move on and like be friends and like everything's good. And the fact that Kenny is like, or like if you did the opposite to me, I'd be like, I'm so sorry. Like I don't want you to think like I'm against you. But never would I be like, and Meredith, you better be on my side for everything.
I need to reiterate.
That's also not a good friend. Like, I'd be like, I want you to call me out on my shit. Maybe, like, we can come up with something privately, or, like, I don't know, it just felt like a lot this year because of what I was going through, or, like, anything. And Kenny's just like, yeah, you gotta stick up for me and not like anyone else that I'm against.
It's sounding like Kenny wants some minions.
Some minions. Ugh, he's jealous of Lindsay who has them.
Just saying.
Man. So, we got to prepare for Friendsgiving still. We're trying to make a roux, which is I'll say a roux I think is difficult, but we do it.
Well, Amanda fucks it up, so we got to restart. Hurry.
It's fine. But it's time for Friendsgiving. Andrea really ate up this tablescape.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Kyle, he's the Friendsgiving DJ, which I didn't even know Friendsgiving had DJs, but it's similar to that of a wedding DJ where you introduce the wedding party as they walk in.
The way Kyle's like, I'm not a wedding DJ, but I am a Friendsgiving DJ.
And then he's like, Amanda enters in her dress and sweater. Here comes Yvonne for her 18th wedding. You know, like, literally you're a wedding DJ.
Man. Kyle just needs to be the center of attention at all times.
So we're grabbing food. Kyle grabs the whole turkey leg, starts eating before we're even sat, which... Amanda, stop getting mad at him. Okay, this is hilarious. Was it Amanda was it someone else? Yes. I don't even remember.
No, it was Amanda. She was like, Kyle. And I was like, oh my God.
Just let him eat the turkey. It's a joke. The camera's right there, girl. He's performing.
And people are like actively going through the line. It's like Kenny is carving the turkey. And so like obviously that takes time, but like Kyle just rips off a turkey leg, is letting everybody go through, and then he picks up a plate and goes through next.
Yeah. Whitney asks if the turkey has dairy. As someone who's lactose intolerant, I can tell you, I don't know much, but I've never met a turkey that had dairy.
If
it could be possible.
Yes.
I don't think it should be.
That is like, if it had dairy, I would be more concerned.
Naturally, no. Turkeys do not have dairy. Even Lindsay was kind of like,
no?
Does the turkey have dairy? Owen? Not a mashed potatoes guy, as you said, but he's going to eat Amanda's mashed potatoes just for her. They bonded over that puzzle while everyone was fucking fighting.
Damn, we have come a long way from 2 episodes, the wedding dinner from hell, where we got the flashback of Amanda trying to ask Owen a question and getting absolutely annihilated.
100%. So Kenny's, as you said, is carving the turkey. Kyle's last in line, right behind Lindsay, and it's just the 3 of them, and Lindsay's like, I like dark meat, and Kenny's like, slow down there, cowgirl. And Kyle's like, yeah, can you try and go easy? And Lindsay's like, what?
Oh my God.
Huh?
Do you remember? I think Chris said something about this on the Also episode that we recorded where she was like, I think Kenny likes Whitney.
Or like,
or sorry,
wait, like Lindsay?
Kenny likes Lindsay.
Oh.
And after this comment, I can kind of see it now.
I think like, okay, sorry to Whitney because I'm really shitting on her, but which like, I'm sorry if it really hurts her feelings. I'm sure it won't. I'm not sorry I have these opinions, but the spark Kenny is missing, Lindsay has a spark with everyone.
Yeah.
She's a spark with a man named Payman, okay? Like, yeah. She's a spark with everyone. You know
that's
what I mean?
not to say that, like, Kenny and Whitney can't, like, make it. It's just, like, I can see something with these two. Like, the dynamic is vastly different than him and Whitney. But, like, I can see something, a buzz here.
Remember when last episode I was talking about boring girls?
Yeah.
Whitney is that. Lindsay's not.
No.
So Lindsay's fine. And you can joke with her, right? If Whitney was like, oh, I like dark meat, and someone not her boyfriend was like, slow down there, cowgirl,
she would get offended. No. Yeah.
I would never do. But Lindsay's like, wait a second, y'all. Like,
she's cracking up. These three are dying funny. Laughing over this.
This is, I think, who the backs of the city is going to be built off of. These three.
But this is what I have an issue with, Whitney. Too. In, like, society is, like, I think Kenny likes Lindsay's energy, but if he were ever to date, like, a Lindsay type, he would want to close her off and, like, lock her up in a cage 100%. And to, like, own her and, like, make her smaller instead of just appreciating for what it is. So it's, like, it's better he's with a Whitney.
Because Lindsay's more successful than him, more outgoing than him.
No, Kenny is very successful. Kenny is very successful.
Maybe not successful, but Lindsay's successful in her own right. She doesn't need Kenny, right?
Yes.
I think Kenny would want someone who needs him a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
Lindsay emotionally doesn't need him, financially doesn't need him, like mentally doesn't need him. She's louder than him. She's more outgoing than him. She's like, she
draws the attention bubbly. In like many ways.
She's more of a star than him. I don't think he would like that.
Yeah.
So I
agree.
Kenny can hope, but he'll never get Lindsay for sure.
I think the same with like Kyle. Like Kenny and Kyle are very similar. Like they have to be the biggest personality in the room and the most successful one in the relationship. Like they need that for their own validation. And like
I agree.
I do think Lindsay needs and the emotional things that like Kenny could potentially provide. I don't think she would be able to vocalize it in the way that Kenny
would want a woman to do that.
Yeah, like to fawn over him.
Also, hot take. I think after the Amanda thing, Kyle could go for like quite a strong. I think
a stronger woman.
Yeah, I think he could up it.
This is why I see him with like Sally, because I think Sally is more meek than Lindsay, but she has a boisterous personality. I think he needs the person who's a social personality, but the rest of it is a little bit still more timid than Lindsay is.
You're right. He also still wants someone who someone who says like, I want a man so bad. Because Sally, my God, all last season, all we saw her do was be like, any man I'll take, and I want a man, and I don't care if he sucks. I just want a man.
Yeah.
Lindsay's
Kyle
like
wants to take care of someone.
Lindsay's like, would I like a man? Yeah. At the expense of my own peace? No. Okay, so Kenny at the table with everyone around talks about his first Friendsgiving 12 years ago. Kenny and Gavin are in a good place, and Gavin loves that because he's done many Thanksgivings with Kenny.
It was really pretty, like, and beautiful to hear about, like, that experience. These are the moments where I'm like, Kenny, people connect with this. Yes. Especially New Yorkers. So many people can't come home for every holiday. Like, I was like, okay, I see you. Like, this is the type of personality, like, this is you.
Yeah. And Lindsay's even like, Gavin, are you sure you're okay? I saw some tears. And Gavin's like, you saw nothing.
Didn't see anything.
Kenny says at the end of the day, there's a friendship with Gavin that's been there for years. So that will always be there. And Danielle's like, oh, it's so nice to see friends together again. Looks at Lindsay. That's how I'd like to be. And I was like, girl, you suck at the transition. For as long as you've been on my screen, you have not mastered the act of transitioning to yourself.
No, this reminded me of when she was like, and when can I come to your apartment?
Yeah, no, it's like, I'd be like, she's gonna kill me. She's crazy a little bit.
It is giving stalker a little bit every time she like wants to talk to Lindsay.
When are Lindsay and I getting together? Yeah, it's just like, calm down, right? But Danielle asked Lindsay if they're moving forward. And Lindsay's like, I feel like we have been moving forward. Hello? And Danielle's like, it just sucks hearing that you're talking about us behind our backs and Googling me or us, whatever. And Lindsay's like, the Googling came from a place of like wanting to be sure you're okay. And Danielle's like, it just didn't feel very supportive because you could have just texted me. And Lindsay's like, I'm sorry.
Sure.
I was like, Lindsay is tired, dude. She's a mom. Let her sleep.
The next time she wants to know when Owen got married and what year, she'll text you. Like,
she'll text Danielle and probably not even get an answer. So then she'll Google secretly and tell no one about it. Yeah. So Lindsay says she feels like they're moving forward. She's sorry for the chatter. And you know what? This weekend she actually hung out with Owen and she had a really good time giggling with him.
Huge.
And she even says, she's like, I've seen Danielle in a lot of terrible relationships. So she's like, I like seeing you safe. And it came from a place of like making sure you're going to be safe. And Kyle also, who's been here for a long time, is like, this is the happiest we've seen you. So Gavin's like, yay, Friendsgiving. We all love each other. Camera pans to Kyle and Amanda. A raise is needed. And then it's Kyle's favorite part of the night. It's time to DJ. And listen, this is so fun because it's all of your best friends. Yeah. You're in this big giant room by yourself and you're drunk. This is a club where I'm not crowded and I can change into my pajamas.
I was about to say, and half of the group goes back and like changes into comfy clothes and then comes back. Like, that's the key, is like so much space. There's no furniture around. We can just like run around. Like, oh, I loved this.
No one's gonna, you never have to be like, oh, is there anyone cute around? Because I know everyone who's here. Like, this is awesome.
I don't like dancing a lot because I don't want strangers touching me. But in a wide open room with my best friends where I am just free to do my thing and no one is going to impede. Oh,
this is the best. This is the best. And let's make it even better. The least fun person in the world leaves. Amanda goes to bed.
Oh my God. Of course she does. She doesn't even spend 5 minutes dancing with them, because I also get it. Like, if dancing and loud music and Kyle DJing is not your thing, but you suck it up to have a memory with your friends where you're like running around and having a good time and 100%. Then go to bed. But like, she is allergic to fun.
Let me tell you, Friendsgiving should be fun. Amanda?
Not fun.
Not fun.
In bed.
Yeah. So the next morning, good morning, Danielle and Georgina are me trying to finish this puzzle. And Owen's like, what if Amanda took some of the pieces so you can't finish it? And Georgina's like, I'm pretty sure that's what fucking happened. We hear Amanda was up at like 7:45 a.m., which is the earliest she's ever been up as long as Kyle's known her. Lindsay, the mom, last one on the dance floor. Because let me tell you who's fun. Lindsay's fun.
And I'm pretty sure Kenny is the one who was saying that. So thank you, Kenny, for giving her dues.
And Kyle, of course, was the last one because he was playing the music. Lindsay was dancing too.
Absolutely.
They left together, as they should have. I bet there's a cool scene on the cutting room floor of them just walking back to their rooms together and doing like a fist bump or some shit.
It has to be that surveillance footage because you know that they were outlasting the film crew.
Yeah, just the two of them. But that's our siblings. Yeah. They're always the last ones.
They play closing time and they're like, just like hugging, like holding each other arm in arm.
Just the twins, yeah. Amanda and Kyle, they're not going home together. Can you believe this is the second house this year Kyle's had to leave and not go home with
I had the same thought, Alicia, as I was like, just sit on the fucking front porch and let's do this scene all over again.
But this is the moment that Kyle feels like this is it. He's not surprised they're here. He says he provoked most of their issues, but Amanda makes the first move because he didn't think he'd make the first move. And then we get our time jump to January.
Wait a minute, actually, before we jump forward, maybe this is what he was talking about Thanksgiving.
Oh! Because he did mention Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Like, she did not want to spend the night in a room with him. They slept in twin beds. Like, the vibes were off. They had another fight. Like, it was very clear that things are over.
She was up at 7:45, which I'm pretty sure is the time Kyle comes to bed. Yeah. That's why she was up so early.
True.
She was filing her divorce that morning. That's why she was up
she wasn't. No, she wasn't. Not a go-getter.
She wasn't. Okay, so then we jump to January 2026. Amanda and Kyle are divorced. In March of 2026, we hear rumors that Amanda is with Wes. Kyle says, I cannot believe those rumors, but guess what? They're true because I think it was April 2nd or something. They released a statement saying that they are together. March 31st. It was around April Fool's, so somewhere in there. And then April 9th, 2026, we're at Kyle's apartment, this is the second half of the conversation that we saw at the end of Summer House.
No, at the start of In the City. They're bookending
In the City. You're right.
This season with this conversation, which I kind of don't like that we've waited 9 whole episodes to finish this out.
And we kind of got nothing.
No, this was a nothing burger.
Okay, cool. So we can just get through it. So they're having this conversation. Kyle's mad Amanda lied about West. Amanda's like, whatever, I didn't leave you for him, so it's fine. Kyle starts crying. They talk about how hard it was to put out their divorce statement. They were on the phone together the whole time. Kyle knows he was no saint and he made things worse. He's not proud of it. Amanda says their relationship was gonna be destroyed eventually, so it's not just him. Kyle's glad that they didn't continue to give people false hope, like their fans and their friends. The fans didn't think this was going to work out, let me tell you.
No.
Anyway, on the plus side, the scandal really helped Loverboy, and Kyle's like, yeah, I love how many people have love for me to buy my product. And Amanda's
he was like, yeah, I finally opened up about my financial issues and people started supporting me. Yeah. And she's like, no, they hate me more. Amanda.
And Kyle's like, I don't think they hate you. And I was like, oh, listen, I hate to do this, Kyle, but it did come back on the brink, or from the brink of bankruptcy, mostly because of
I think it's a mix of both. I think people felt bad for him given everything we have learned.
Given everything. Yeah. And also they hate you.
Hey, not the time to center yourself. Just let him have this one. If I had this huge scandal going down and everybody hates me on the internet, the last thing I'm going to say on camera is that people who are supporting my soon to be ex-husband are doing it because they hate me, because it's only going to make those people hate me more.
You know why she said that, though? To be the victim. Yeah, to be the sob. Everyone hates me. Yeah. And they do. Don't get it twisted.
100%.
So Amanda's like, oh, boo-hoo, I can't leave my home or apartment because I'm scared someone's going to scream in my face and there was no affair. She's like, I fucked up, but I just want to do things, like go out to dinner. And Kyle's like, hey, you know what else you need to do is not isolate yourself just with West. You should hang out with friends too.
Can I be really mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Be meaner than what you're gonna say.
If on April 9th you say, I feel like I can't leave my apartment, everybody hates me. Okay. How do you then go on a tour of the outside and antagonize people or constantly being captured in the most insane moments? If I felt like everybody hated me outside, I would, make my life a little smaller, let it die down. I would try not to be seen in public. I feel like they have done the opposite because they want attention so bad and they are under the system of, no press is bad press. Any attention is good attention. West wants attention. Amanda loves to be the victim. So they are just, eating this up because it just, feeds those two addictions.
Yeah. And can I say, guys, don't scream in their faces if you see them. That's what they want, so that they could be the victims.
Also,
you know what you should do?
No matter how much they've done, if people are screaming in their faces, that is too far.
You know what you do?
Let's get a grip.
If you see them, you just kind of give a little scoff or an ugly eye.
The same way, a laugh.
When you see a Tesla, you're kind of like, ugh,
embarrassing.
If you see a MAGA hat, you're kind of like, ugh, do one of those and be like, yeah, and just ignore them. Because that will really piss them off. Anyway, so yeah, Kyle's like, hey, you should also make time for your friends. And Amanda's like, do you want to get dinner with me? Because she doesn't have any friends. Because if you remember, she got with West behind one of her best friend's backs. And all her other friends fucking took the right side of history and were like, that was a fucked up thing for you to do.
Her and West lied to their friends for months.
And lied. And then you know what? She didn't apologize at the reunion. So no one's really forgiven her. But then Amanda makes probably the worst joke in history and is like, maybe one day you, me, West, and Sally can all have dinner together.
That was crazy.
Ew.
Because it's weird for all four of them. Because West and Sally have hooked up.
No. Ew.
This is my nightmare. Honestly,
it's not even funny. It's not even funny.
If I woke up and had to be in their bodies on this date, put me in jail, put me in a psych ward, anything but this dinner.
No, ew. And so, yeah, whatever. Bravo really wants that redemption arc for Amanda. They really want to paint her as
my God, yeah. Oh yeah. And I won't let it I don't really give a shit about Amanda. My big thing is, like, they're gonna try to, through Amanda, resurrect West. And that's the one I will absolutely not let happen.
I can't do it.
Watch it. I'm not joking. Prediction, he will be a guest star on In the City season 2 and future projects to come.
And it'll happen because, my God, West was like a worse person than him. And they brought him around for a long time and showed like abuse. Or sorry, Jax.
Oh, I was like,
sorry.
Okay, Wes is a bad person.
No. If they tried to resurrect Jax, that's when you know that they just have no shame sometimes.
Very good point.
So it's coming. Anyway, then in June 2026, we do like a Housewives catch-up of like where everyone is.
This is kind of weird, but I
didn't like it.
Quickly realized why we got there.
Why?
Because all the pregnancies, they needed a way to tie it in. But I was like, oh, I don't care what Kenny and Whitney are up to. Like, all offense and no offense to them is like, I didn't need this from them. And then I was like, oh, we're going to just try to smatter these in. So then it's like, we're all pregnant.
But couldn't we just at the reunion been like, you're pregnant? Hey, Yvonne, welcome to the reunion. You're pregnant. Hey, Danielle, welcome to the reunion. You're pregnant.
Even just one of those actual housewife stills where it's like, and like expecting whatever, even if they didn't even have to say like season 2 because you don't want to promise anything. It's just
just the Lindsay comment, because that would have been funny. But okay, so we do a catch up. Kenny, Whitney, good. They accidentally got married in Peru,
but like not. This is just like Yvonne and Nick's marriage. Actually worse, because it's like not that serious.
They didn't even know. Okay.
Congrats.
Georgina, ready to date, figuring out things with her ex, but she feels better about life. And we see her kids. Her kids are very cute. Lindsay and Gemma. Gemma is 1. And Lindsay's like, and now everyone's going to get where I was coming from all season because everyone's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Nick and Yvonne having a boy. Lexi and Andrea. Andrea's going to be a girl daddy boy.
That was funny.
The language barrier really comes through sometimes. And Danielle and Owen. Danielle's pregnant. Now she can't have her second bedroom closet. But that, you know what? Yay. And since all this has happened, Danielle did have her baby boy.
Yes.
Congrats.
And he looks way healthier because she had him like 2 months early. So like that was very scary. I'm glad everything seems to be okay.
He seems to be healing in the NICU. So we're very happy. All right, one final time. We got in the city and out to the suburbs. Okay, Meredith, it's odds. So we're ending on you.
Okay.
Who are your 2?
Okay, I'm going to go out to the suburbs first because I need you to pick your in the city first because to help me decide.
Okay.
My out to the suburbs is going to be Whitney. Girlie, if you're going to come for an argument, you can't waffle back and forth and give me 3 different reasons. And, well, listen, you can give me 3 different reasons, but, like, stand on them. But you can't change the narrative every time somebody clocks you on you having a bad argument.
100%. So I'm just going to end where I started. Kenny.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
Don't
Enjoy
like
Peru. That marriage would really fit you. But honestly, 100%. I don't want you off my show. Like, you guys are fine on it.
I need people to hate. Yeah. So it's fine. Okay, you need me to go first for in the city?
Yeah, because if you pick one of mine, then like I'll pick the other. Because I have 2. God.
This is hard because I don't want to like encompass the whole season.
No. This is just this episode.
And what I kind of liked that we did for Summer House was at the reunion, we guessed. Oh, and I think in part 2 of the reunion, I'll get the final number so we can end on that note because I think that's a fun way. Just for this episode, this is hard. This is hard for me. But I think I'm going to have to. I have 2. I want you to go first. No, it's fine. No. It's fine. I'll go first. I'm going to give it to Lindsay. I'm a sim. Okay.
That didn't even cover my 2. That didn't help me. I thought that's why it would happen.
I should have picked my other one then.
What was your other? Yeah.
Georgina.
I know. That's what would have helped me decide.
Who's your other one?
Gavin. And I think I have to go with Gavin because honestly.
Really?
Because it is rare that we actually see a man on Bravo take full accountability for their actions it actually means something. Yeah. And I have to applaud him. And I still to this day think he is one of the best characters on this show because he is so messy and so funny. And I need that so bad. I literally love him on this show.
Agreed. And actually, I'm going to change. I'm going to give it to Georgina. Lindsay did great this whole season, but Georgina had like a fantastic episode.
Good. That's what I wanted them to be.
Sorry. I thought you were between Lindsay and Georgina. I was like, she'll pick Georgina. I was not. But, not having Georgina seems more wrong. She did fantastic. She really delivered those kill shots, man. She did great.
Like, holy shit, point blank range. You hate women was so crazy.
That was... I loved the who cares? I care. Now you got to answer. That was crazy. So good on her. 10 out of 10. She's a good friend to Lindsay too, which I love. Anyway,
yeah.
What a season. Okay, we have 2 reunions. At the end of the second reunion, I'm going to announce whoever we wanted most in the city and whoever we kicked out to the suburbs most.
I like it.
So start thinking.
I'll read back our list of like our ranked list of where we put people.
What do you mean?
We ranked everybody on the cast at the start of the season. Yeah.
Oh, I blacked out.
I asked you for it. We didn't put it on the episode, but it was in our Instagram post. So I'll look back and see. Actually, send me your ranking and I'll compare them on Instagram.
Oh, from after?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Without the reunions, like this aside, just the show in like holistic sense.
We should really do rankings at the beginning and ending of every season now and just see where we land, because now I'm interested and I completely blacked out. I agree.
I think after episode 1, we should rank them to see, because we hear about where everybody's been.
Yep. And then by episode
the
25 we do the other ones. Oh, I like that a lot. Okay, I'll send you my rankings. So Perfect. We'll have a lot to do at the end of reunion too, but
love it.
I am excited for the reunions. Okay, well, this was the season finale. It was a great season. I think this is a great show. It will obviously get greenlit for season 2. Do all the things I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, and with that, love ya.
Thanks for joining. Bye.